an article from space has been seen to visit our nearby planet group. Neil deGrasse Tyson says that Oumuamua has abruptly returned, and it's not in good company. Oumuamua is the name of the puzzling flying object that whipped past our nearby planet group a long time back. However, the way it voyaged baffled researchers for a really long time, practically like it was not normal. Researchers initially accepted it was a rock, while some said it was gas. So, join us as we uncover the mystery of Oumuamua and see whether it truly was a scout from another development. Back in October 2017, something phenomenal occurred in our solar system. The University of Hawaii's Pan-STARRS-1 telescope made a fantastic discovery. It detected the first interstellar object known to visit our planetary group, named Oumuamua. Located atop Maui's Haleakala volcano, the Pan-STARRS-1 telescope is remarkable when it comes to spotting space rocks, even weak ones like Oumuamua. The official name for it was 1I/2017 U1. However, the Pan-STARRS team gave it a more colorful name, Oumuamua. Interpreting from Hawaiian, it means a messenger from afar arriving first. Oumuamua looked like a reddish, cigar-shaped object comprised of rock. Its length and shape is striking, extending up to a quarter-mile long and around 10 times longer than it is wide. Oumuamua has an aspect ratio that surpasses any asteroid or comet observed in our own planetary group. Its extended shape is very amazing and unlike anything we've seen before. This unique characteristic could provide significant insights into the formation of other planetary groups. But how do we even know that this object came from outside the nearby planet group and isn't just some rogue Kuiper Belt object? Neil deGrasse Tyson says that it's very simple to find out. It's all on account of the speed of the object. We can see an object is extraterrestrial if it's going extremely fast, too fast for it to be contained by the sun's gravity. Oumuamua was traveling at a speed of 196,000 miles per hour when it approached Earth. That's multiple times faster than a bullet, meaning there was no way this object was part of our planetary group the whole time. Researchers couldn't determine whether Oumuamua was an asteroid or a comet, but what's the difference? Comets are ice while asteroids are rocky. Researchers first thought it was a comet, then adjusted their perspectives to consider it an asteroid. Once it zoomed past the sun on September 9, 2017, they still considered it an asteroid until additional measurements indicated slight acceleration, which is a sign of it being a comet. Yet the way that Oumuamua sped up more than anticipated confused researchers for quite some time. When Oumuamua showed up, telescopes worldwide eagerly observed it, intending to gather as much data as possible during its brief visit. They made fascinating discoveries: the absence of visible dust or a comet tail, an unusual stretched shape much longer than it is wide, and a reddish color resembling objects found in the outer regions of our planetary group. Observations even found the age of this object. Oumuamua had been wandering alone through the universe of our Milky Way galaxy for countless years prior to dropping by. As Oumuamua left our nearby planet group, it sped up unexpectedly fast, surpassing the effect of gravity alone. This acceleration resembled the boost that comets experience as they move away from the sun. When a comet's ice evaporates due to solar heat, it pushes the now lighter object forward. However, the speed boost and direction of Oumuamua didn't follow the expectations researchers had made. The unconventional direction of Oumuamua raises questions. Why did it follow such an odd path through space? Since its discovery in 2017, researchers have proposed various theories to explain the object's nature, composition, and high speed of roughly 196,000 miles per hour. One theory suggests that Oumuamua could be made out of solid hydrogen, which changes into gas as it approaches a star, pushing the object forward. In this scenario, the whole object itself would behave like a whiz particle motor. Some researchers proposed the idea that the cigar-shaped object might instead have a more disc-like appearance. They based this idea on the way it accelerated away from the sun during its passage. Yet many planetary scientists argue that its behavior could resemble that of a comet, a phenomenon commonly observed in our nearby planet group. Another possible explanation for this acceleration not accounted for by gravity is radiation pressure, which is the force exerted by sunlight on an object. However, for sunlight to have such an effect, the object's density would need to be incredibly low. The exceptional shape and extraordinarily low density of the object sparked enthusiastic discussions within the scientific community about its potential origins. Some people even entertain the intriguing possibility of the rock being an alien light sail created by an intelligent extraterrestrial civilization. While one researcher firmly believed that this pancake-shaped object was an alien spacecraft, such claims were met with skepticism. As with any scientific theory involving intelligent aliens, there probably exists a more plausible explanation. Nevertheless, let's take a look at how significant this argument was. In October 2018, Dr. Shmuel Bialy and Professor Avi Loeb put forward a hypothesis that asked if solar radiation pressure could be the key to Oumuamua's odd acceleration. Their study went through peer review and was accepted for publication in the Astrophysical Journal Letters, though it sparked a mixed response. Based on several lines of evidence, the team proposed that Oumuamua's unusual attributes could be explained by its pancake-like shape and highly reflective nature, resembling a light sail. Its sudden acceleration and deviation from the expected orbit aligned with the effect of radiation pressure interacting with a light sail. Even the way it entered our nearby planet group resembled that of an interstellar adventurer. It flew by Earth after its closest approach to the Sun. Its orbital dynamics gave it a near encounter with the only habitable planet in our nearby planet group, resembling what one might expect from an interstellar probe. Naturally, this claim stirred controversy. Some news sources sensationalized the hypothesis, suggesting that Professor Loeb and his colleague were proposing an alien origin for Oumuamua. Conversely, others dismissed the idea, questioning why a reputable scientist like Professor Loeb would even entertain something they considered fringe. Despite facing opposition, Professor Loeb stood by his argument and went on to publish a book delving into his controversial hypothesis and the journey that led him to it. In his book, Loeb takes a more personal and passionate approach, appealing to both the scientific community and the general public to seriously consider the idea that Oumuamua could be an extraterrestrial messenger. So, is Oumuamua a space probe created by an intelligent species? Let's explore Professor Loeb's book. After spending years presenting this contentious hypothesis to the scientific and astronomical community, Professor Loeb shared the story behind his idea in this book. The book delves into the mystery surrounding Oumuamua and most importantly urges readers to genuinely consider an extraterrestrial encounter. Professor Loeb described his arguments in more detail in his book, arguments he made back in 2018. As Oumuamua prepared to leave the nearby planet group, the Hubble Space Telescope captured final images that revealed an increase in its speed. The most obvious explanation for this phenomenon was that Oumuamua was releasing material from its surface due to solar warming, a process known as outgassing, which aligns with the characteristics of a comet. However, as Bialy and Loeb emphasized, there should have been undeniable evidence of such activity. One perplexing aspect of Oumuamua was its lack of a tail when it made its closest approach to the Sun. Furthermore, the sudden acceleration it experienced couldn't be explained by gravitational forces. If anything, gravity should have been causing it to slow down. Additionally, if Oumuamua had been outgassing, it would have resulted in a rapid change in its spin. Yet no such violent spin was observed by Loeb and Bialy. The most plausible cause for the increase in speed was radiation pressure. However, if Oumuamua wasn't a comet or an asteroid, then what could it possibly be? Moreover, what could explain its peculiar behavior? The only thing researchers were certain of was that Oumuamua was unlike any object ever observed. All efforts to explain the phenomenon of Oumuamua in terms of nature were paper-thin when the book was written. There was no satisfactory explanation for why it could account for its brilliance, shape, and acceleration while also acknowledging the absence of outgassing. This idea was partly sparked by Professor Loeb's involvement in Project Starshot, a program aiming to develop a spacecraft capable of reaching the Alpha Centauri system within our lifetime. After careful consideration, they realized that using a light sail powered by a 100-gigawatt laser was the best approach to achieve speeds near the speed of light. The next step was to determine the size, composition, density, and reflectivity of such a probe. Eventually, all the evidence aligned and pointed to one key idea. Oumuamua was not of natural origin. According to Loeb, the hypothesis of a light sail may account for the characteristics of Oumuamua's shape, unusual brightness, and movement. Observations indicated that Oumuamua's shape was highly extended, with an aspect ratio greater than 5. Based on specific calculations, a flat shape fit the observations, making it an optimal sail for radiation pressure. The only factor that would account for the sudden acceleration of Oumuamua was sunlight, similar to what drives the concept of Project Starshot. Oumuamua also had an unusual orbit, a quality that might align with a light sail. The probability of Oumuamua's odd orbit was 1 in 500 million. When all the evidence was pieced together, the scenario involving a light sail made the most sense. As for the possibility of Oumuamua being a space probe from an intelligent species, this became a topic of great controversy. Some scientists supported the idea of advanced extraterrestrial life, while others vehemently opposed it. The latter group argued that the hypothesis of an alien probe was premature and claimed that there were still many unknown natural phenomena that could potentially explain Oumuamua's peculiar behavior. So where do we stand now? To this day, the true nature of Oumuamua remains unresolved. Despite the various theories proposed, none have definitively explained its unique characteristics. The mystery of Oumuamua continues to intrigue and challenge scientists worldwide, fueling ongoing research and debates about the existence of extraterrestrial intelligence and the potential for interstellar travel.